Hello, hello there. It's Jovan Walker here, and we are here for another business spotlight session, business shout out session. Um, Thank you all for joining. We're actually here going to be talking to Darnald Kimble Jr. of Darnald Jr Productions. This guy is an amazing person with outstanding abilities, and we're going to dive into some of what he does in the photography side, but then also look at some aspects in terms of what he does in other areas too that could really shape in lives, transform businesses, and all of the great things. So here we are. Darnald, thank you for joining me today. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, Jovan, for having me on.
No problem. I'm so excited to talk to you and learn, and not just learn, but to allow other people to learn more about what you are doing. So let's see here. Tell us a little bit about your business and all of the great things that you've got going.
Absolutely. So Darnald Jr Productions is a production company where I don't just do photography, but I do videography. And the nice part too is I officially got FAA approved to do drone shots. And so you have to take a test and get certified for that. And the FAA don't play. So if you sell drone video without having the certification, they'll come knock on your door. It's really serious. And so I love what I do. I just started the videography business in April of last year, so about to celebrate a year here in a couple of months, and it's been going great. Just officially published in 4 magazines, and I just found out yesterday I got my first cover of a magazine, so super excited about that.
Congratulations. This is awesome. Awesome. So that's pretty dope. I actually just saw something with like in government contracting side about the FAA drone certification. So I'm probably hit you up about that later. But anyway,
Yeah,
congratulations on all those things. So tell me a little bit more in terms of like from the photography side, what got you passionate about photography?
Yeah, so growing up, I was always interested in photography. I actually took a class in middle school where we did an old school where we went in the dark room and we had the actual 35 millimeter film and we processed it in the dark room. It was really fun experience because it's when the Rockets won their first championship, and they had, I believe it's the Kimble and Clyde Drexler standing next to the Transco Tower, but they put the camera angle to the point where it looked like Akeem and Clyde were just as tall as the Transco Tower. For those that don't know where the Transco Tower is, it's one of the largest buildings in Houston. And we thought it was a phenomenal shot. So literally we took a field trip out to the Transco Tower to try to recreate that shot. And that was pretty epic. And so I'm grateful to my GT teacher for teaching us photography back in middle school. And ever since then, I've been very conscious on like framing and lighting. I'm a lighting snob. Right before the show, I was like, my lighting's not right. And so I'm really big into making sure people look amazing. And I feel really honored when people take my pictures and make them their profile pictures. And so with that, I think I get it from my dad, honestly. My dad loves taking pictures. He has album on album. So shout out to my dad for his love for photography and taking pictures. And I guess I'm a junior, so if the chip doesn't fall too far
Right.
off the old block, So so I officially decided to monetize it and turn it into a business April of last year. And it's been an exciting journey ever since. Like I've been places that I never even imagined. I didn't know there's so many amazing, wonderful places around Houston to take photos. So it's been great.
Oh, awesome. So I like that the whole story of what really got you into this, like the whole school aspect and seeing something like super dope and creating it. Like when it comes to photography, like how long in general have you had your photography business?
So I started April of last year, so not even a year.
Last year. Okay. So, in terms of who you're working with, who would you say are your target clientele? What's your target clientele within that space?
Yeah, so right now, since my primary business, I sell insurance, so I do a lot of networking. So I figure a lot of business clients are great. I actually just did a headshot for a corporate attorney this past weekend. And so doing headshots for corporate attorneys for real estate agents. Real estate agents are perfect because I could do drone footage of their houses. I could take shots of the rooms and doing tours and walkthroughs. I could even do like a behind the scenes for them. So that's pretty cool. But I'm actually transitioning currently. I just hired a mentor to what's called a boutique photography model. And so this is kind of the great announcement of that. And what that means is there's a lot of photographers out there. They're a dime a dozen, right?
Yeah.
And so you could hire a photographer on a whim. You say, I need a photographer, and like 20 of them are going to respond, right?
Yeah.
And what they tend to do is they tend to give you digital files, right? And what happens to those digital files that end up on your social media, your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever, and or they end up on your phone or on a hard drive somewhere. And guess what? You never see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so what boutique photography, what we do is we're really big into creating artwork for your wall, creating albums, physical artwork. That's a lost art nowadays. Like you walk into people's homes and they don't have family pictures up anymore. And I want to create artwork to where you look at that picture, you're like, oh, that's my family. You get goosebumps. You are excited to get home. And it just reminds you of the good days. Like for instance, my mom is currently moving out her house, and she apparently I still got a lot of stuff over at her house, and she decided to drop it off. But one of the things she dropped off was a picture of my grandfather, my late grandfather, who passed away at the age of 96.
Wow.
And that's priceless, right?
Yeah.
Like it's something, artwork is something you could pass down from generation to generation. It could be an heirloom for your family. And that's what I want to create for people, heirlooms where it's like, oh yeah, that's my son when he was a baby, or that's my daughter when she graduated, or that's when we had our first baby. And you can pass that down from generation to generation. But with digital files, like they get lost. Like you're not going to see those ever again unless you scroll through your Facebook or scroll through your hard drive. And how many people do that? Nobody got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. So you are not just giving digital files, but you're giving a whole album.
Absolutely. So artwork, yeah. So artwork where they could print and put on their wall, or physical albums. So not like digital albums, but physical albums.
Yeah, oh, I love it. Bringing that back, because we have been in this digitized space, and I can see, and honestly, when you said people don't have pictures in their house, I'm one of them. Can honestly say that I'm one of those individuals that you see this picture, that's probably that one and a few other ones in my bedroom or what have you. But I have gotten so used to this digitized era that it's like I'm missing out on the capturing of the memories and spreading it out throughout the house. So knowing that you have that, that's an awesome benefit to getting back to the art of photography, the art of building memories and all of those things. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So when it comes to, I know you mentioned like you've been working with like businesses and helping with business owners and helping families, in terms of like building that art side of things. What would you say people are saying? Like what I know that this is something that helps you stand out, but what are people saying about the work that you have been providing for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've been getting an amazing response. I love when people get excited about the pictures that I take, and it's just like, that's awesome. Like I just did a photo shoot. I actually did 2 photo shoots and a video shoot this past weekend alone. Yeah. And one of them, a lady, it was her birthday, so she wanted to take a photo shoot of her family. And honestly, she barely spoke English. She spoke French, actually, ironically. And but to see her response to the pictures was priceless. Yeah. She's like, that's me, that's really me. Yeah. Like to have people have that confidence that, wow, I could really look good in a picture, and it boosts their self-esteem. Like that's priceless,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. That's really, really good. So it's like you're building memories, but then building self-esteem, building all, like making people feel like, oh, like lightweight celebrities, if you will, with their own images. So that's awesome. So where I know we kind of briefly mentioned it, like where you were. Where are you located?
I'm in Houston.
Houston, Texas.
Yeah,
Okay.
we live on the north side, but in the Spring area.
Yeah. So do you work with people all over Houston or beyond Houston? Where are you working with people?
Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere in the Houston area is fine. Like all the way from Katy to Anahuac, from Willis to Galveston. So Houston's a big market.
Okay, cool. So we got the photography side. We got Darnald, the photographer. I definitely want to tap in Darnald, the other person that when I initially met you, I was like, oh man, you do that too. So, and you briefly said like I work in insurance. So I definitely want to share it with people because you have a wealth of influence, specifically in this Houston market. You have a wealth of knowledge within the industries that you serve as well. And I think this is awesome time to really spotlight that for individuals so they can see, what you're all about. So tell me more about the Darnald within the insurance space as well as in the financial space.
Absolutely. So full time, I represent a company called Globe Life Family Heritage Division, and we specialize in supplemental benefits. And what that is actually the opposite of health insurance, because health insurance is good because it pays the doctors and hospitals, but the reality is it doesn't even pay the whole bill.
Mhm.
Isn't that frustrating? So this is a question for you, actually. Do you know the number one leading cause of bankruptcy in America?
No,
It's actually medical, right? Medical.
really.
Yes. And so out of those that declare medical bankruptcy, guess what percentage of those have health insurance?
Probably like 20%.
Higher.
70?
70. You nailed it.
Wow. Okay.
70% of people that declare medical bankruptcy have health insurance. So
Wow.
most people assume if they have health insurance, everything's going to be okay. But the reality is, if you think about it, health insurance is designed to protect the doctors in the hospitals, right?
Hmm.
They're not designed to protect us, because if we go through something major like cancer, major accident, or heart attack or stroke, and we can't work 6 weeks, 6 months or longer, who's going to pay the everyday bills?
Gotcha.
And that's why people declare medical bankruptcy. It's not the doctors and hospitals. It's not being able to pay your mortgage. It's not being able to pay your utility bills. It's not being able to put food on the table for your family. So that's exactly what our company does, is we pay cash directly to our clients when they go through something catastrophic. That way they can use it however they need to. So if they need to pay towards the deductible or copay, or more importantly, pay the mortgage, pay the light bills, pay your kids, the food for your kids, make sure they're fed, right? That's where we come in. And our biggest advantage over most insurances in the market for people 55 and under here in Texas, what we have is called a return of premium. So what that means, if our clients don't use it, guess what? They get 100% of their money back. Who does that?
Yeah.
Imagine your car insurance if you never used it and got it back 100%.
Wow. Wow. So that's pretty amazing. So in that space, is it um kind of targeted to everybody or is it only businesses? How's that?
Yeah, so anybody and everybody can get it, and anybody and everybody, in my humble opinion, need it. Like if you have a heartbeat and a checking account, you need something in place like that. I don't care if you're wealthy or struggling, because if you're struggling, if you can't afford to do it, you can't afford not to do it. Because obviously things are tight right now, but God forbid if something catastrophic were to happen, how are you going to handle that, right? And for people that are well off financially, the reason they need it is because they don't want to wipe out their nest egg or their savings or their retirement funds or their investments going through something major like cancer, right? That's designed for other things. So this is designed to protect both ends of the spectrum, right? And so I primarily work business to business. My niche market is honestly doctors and dentist offices. I love working with the medical professionals because you don't really have to explain it to them. They get it. They see it on a daily basis, right? So they know how expensive the healthcare industry is just from working in it, right?
Yeah.
So, but I work with any type of business, primarily small businesses. Those are the ones that need it the most, because if something were to happen, they're the ones affected the greatest, you know?
Yeah. And in this particular space, can you work with people digitally, virtually, anywhere in the US?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm licensed for the state of Texas and state of Florida, ironically. But so I could protect any families in Texas or Florida. But it's really easy for me to get other license for other states. So if there's people outside of Texas, definitely reach out.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to share his information after this, though, for sure, or towards the end of this, but
Mhm.
definitely just learn something new, for one,
Mhm.
about this whole bankruptcy and insurance and health insurance and the coverage and the recovery fees and all that. So if you are a small business owner, you definitely, especially if you're in the Houston area, if in the Houston area, small business owner, Houston area, someone that needs a photographer, you need to come check out Darnald Jr Productions for the photography side of things. If you're in the Houston area and you are a small business owner, professional in various fields, and you recognize that you need a little bit more coverage for your health insurance, so that or recovery. So if there's anything that may affect your overall catastrophic life, things are taken care of and sealed correctly. Even those that are abroad, check him out because, and when I say abroad, I'm talking about outside of Texas. If you're anywhere in the United States, check him out. There's a ways to work with him in that space. Now, there's one more thing, okay?
Mhm.
um, Darnald, I mentioned this, right? Is a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of influence. One of the things when I first met him, he was telling me about sales and financial literacy and all these amazing things. So I definitely see the sales side, which we just kind of discussed, but then we also have the financial literacy. And can you talk to me and tell me what is it exactly that you do within the financial literacy side as it pertains to entrepreneurship and small business?
Absolutely. So I have a show called FinLit Live. FinLit is short for financial literacy. And basically, honestly, I have more questions than answers, and I stay in my lane. I've been in insurance for over a decade, so that's my expertise. But like you said, I'm very well connected. And so what I decide to do is like, well, if I have questions, guess what? Other people might have questions too.
Mhm.
So I decide to start a podcast where I invite guests on that are experts in their specific field, anything from like cryptocurrency to real estate to how to improve your credit score. And I was like, I have questions. Let's answer them live on a podcast. And so I invite them onto the podcast and I open it up to the audience. So whoever's watching could get their questions answered too. So that way we could all get literate, right?
Mhm.
Let's get lit is my is my tagline, which is awesome. And so basically, it's been a great journey. I've been doing it for over 2 years now. Time's flying by, and I've learned so much in the past 2 years. I'm very grateful for all the guests that's been on the show. And I like my pet peeve is in high school, middle school, elementary. They don't teach you how money works,
Mhm.
and I think it's on purpose. Is because if they could keep us ignorant on how money works, then guess what? They have control of it.
Yeah.
So let's take that control back. Let's take our financial literacy back and educate ourselves on how money works, because the difference between where we are and where we want to be is not just knowledge, but application of that knowledge. And that's wisdom.
Wow. Now that's good. That is, and I've been on the show too. So just like I think was this like last year before last? Probably year before last.
It's been a
It
while.
seemed
Yeah.
like it's been a while. So
Yep.
I what I enjoyed most about even being on the show was, of course, the questions about it, but it was like just another resource to those who are in the business space as a whole. And as you even mentioned, like the premise or the purpose behind you even having the Finlit Life live podcasting is to get questions answered, because everybody is trying to figure out this whole thing called a professional development, this whole thing called entrepreneurship, this whole thing called business acumen and all those things. And the show itself helps with that. So having those specific experts in on it is a opportunity for people to learn more and to gain more and to grasp more so that they can be better in the things that they do. So in terms of the show, I know that, you know, since you do this every week, are you currently looking for any individuals to be on the show? What's the next steps in that process?
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like to be on the guests on the show, feel free to reach out. And you can find me. I'm all over social media, so you can either find me at Darnald Jr Productions, or my show Finlit Live, and really easy to find. Actually, there's only one of me.
So for on Facebook it's Darnald Jr.
Yes.
Okay. And then and it's the same on every platform, right?
Yep.
Darnald Jr. So you don't have it's me, Darnald. It's
It's Darnald
it's
Jr. Yep.
everywhere you go. All right. So Darnald Jr. You can find him on any platform. Darnald Jr. Productions or Darnald Kimble Jr. You will find him all those platforms. So here's another question. So in terms of, we're gonna kind of like go back a little bit to the photography side.
Okay.
I'm kind of like jumping different places, but just in the photography side, like what's your next big thing within that space?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my next big thing is switching over to the boutique photography. And I think it's going to be phenomenal for my clients because they'll have something that they can pass down from generation to generation. And the nice part about the whole boutique model is that it's a very consultative approach. So it's not, oh, you show up on the day of the photo shoot and I take a picture. It's no, we sit down, we actually plan out, okay, this wardrobe might look good for your family. This is something that's timeless, because a lot of times you don't want to wear trendy clothes to a photo that you're going to put on your wall that's going to be up there for decades, right? It might look great now, but 5-10 years down the road, it might not look so good. Yeah. So let's think through this whole process and really plan out the photo shoot. Be like, okay, what is going to be timeless? What is something that you're going to be able to have on your wall for decades? And then when we actually do the photo shoot, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And then it doesn't stop there. After the photo shoot, I sit back down with you and I help design the artwork with you. So we come up with custom frames. Do you want big pictures? Do you want a photo album? And really tailor it to exactly what you're looking for you and your family. And so that's a really big thing. And I'm getting mentored on it right now, so I'm not quite there yet, but I'm super excited about that for the future, for sure.
No, I think that's awesome. I mean, it's bringing paper back to families' home. So, and it's bringing memories like that last long too in that space. So that's an awesome thing that helps you to set yourself apart within that space. So very commendable. Congratulations on that. I can't wait to see more of what the beautiful art pieces that you guys are going to be able to create over these next few months. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope that those that are following along, make sure that you follow him and go out and check his website as well. Book up some time so that you can have a photo shoot and create these whole memories as well. Like this is something game changer in the culture of photography. Like everybody's like trying to create content, but how much artwork are you creating with the contents that you have where it's not AI specific?
Yeah.
Let's get to that, right? So speaking of AI, do you use AI in how you go about editing?
Yes, I do.
But okay, all right, so let me be clear on this one. All right, so you still make the people look like themselves, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so that's the difference, because sometimes people are using AI on all these different sites to enhance a look that really wasn't theirs.
Mm-hmm.
But you utilize the real people and do some enhancements that still look like them.
Correct. Yeah, it's just mainly to correct the minor flaws. Like it might be you might have ate something poorly before the photo shoot and you have a pimple sticking out your cheek. And so the AI is able to go in and smooth that out and make your skin look flawless. So it's going to be minor retouching. It's not, make their head look bigger or ears look bigger or whatever. So yeah.
Okay, so we're not distorting images, and this is why you need to go with Darnald Jr Productions, because he utilizes the tools in the proper way so that we can still create long-lasting impressions and long-lasting memories through the artwork that has been displayed. So check it out. Those of you who had joined live, thanks again for joining the live. Once again, I have across the scrolling on the screen, I see I have a few issues today with like Facebook live is going on, and then even with Instagram, it's not clearing as clear as possible, but there is going to be a replay that is posted for those that can watch it. Is actually being recorded as well, so we'll make sure that that goes smoothly. But for those who are joining live and kind of making it through this whole process, listen, thank you, because I'm thanking you not for joining us, but just also for being able to learn more about Darnald Jr., Darnald Kimble, and Darnald Jr Productions, and all of the amazing work that he does. From photography, from artwork to insurance information and coverage, and also in the aspect of financial fitness, financial fit, or what is it called? Get lit, get fit.
FinLit Live, financial literacy.
FinLit. Okay, so FinLit Live financial literacy, where your finances will be lit. You definitely want to check him out on all those different things, but make sure that you're following him, and you'll be able to see more of what's to come and all the incredible offerings that he has out there. Listen, is there anything that you want to share with people, whether in the entrepreneurship space, photography space, whatever, some big things that you really want to share?
Yeah, one of the things that I've heard recently that really struck a chord, they said that fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. So if you have a big dream, if you have a big goal, go for it. Like, try it, and you might succeed, right? A lot of times people think, what if negative? What if something bad happens? But change that what if negative to what if positive. What if something good happens? What if you accomplish your dream or your goal? And so if you have a dream that's been bubbling your heart that you just haven't taken action on, go for it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think even in this brand new season that we're in, well, brand new year, we've been in it for a week and a few days now. One of the biggest things is people are like, hey, then it's a brand new year. I'm gonna do this right within my business. Or for many people, it starts the fiscal year of their business. And oftentimes when we're thinking about any level of growth, there's a fear factor that comes into place.
Absolutely.
And what you just shared here shows us that no matter what, still keep going.
Absolutely.
And I think that's so imperative, or so needed to hear, that no matter what, this is the brand new year. This is your fiscal year, start of the new fiscal for some. This is maybe the mid of your fiscal, whatever it is, keep going. So thank you for sharing that. I'm sure people will find that valuable and take that as a nugget that they can apply to what they're doing, and recognize that you can have multiple ways to generate levels of income and still be widely successful in it, but you have to be willing to take that step. So thank you so much, Darnald, for being on the show this week, and for sharing that insight, for sharing this information that you shared. I learned something new in terms of insurance that I never knew before. So now I'm gonna be interested and probably gonna ask you some more questions and beyond that. And then also for the spotlight that you have on other businesses within the financial literacy side of things too, and how people can be a part. I think that's outstanding, is well commended, real recognizable for people to be a part of what you're doing. So once again, thank you for being on the show. And for those individuals who have watched live or who watched the replay or what have you, and you said, hey, I love this setup and I want to be a part of it too, and I want to have this spotlight as well. I want to showcase the things that I'm doing within my business, and how it can be of benefit to consumers virtually anywhere or in your local area. Definitely tap in, reach out. reach out to me and learn all about it. If you are wanting to be interviewed, you see across the bottom here, there is a ticker that has email at info@thinkaboutitllc.com, so that you can learn what your next steps are in terms of being a part of the business spotlights session that only happens every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for those of you who have watched live, who have watched the replay, appreciate you so much for joining in. And thanks again for being a part of something amazing. God bless, and we will talk to you soon.